Good afternoon. Thank you for being here, and thank you for letting myself and Claude share some things with you. I'm Chip Kleinixel. I'm the SAP CTO within Deloitte, and I'm joined here with Claude Bovan. And we're going to talk a little bit about what it means to be future ready and how to really drive what we call a kinetic enterprise. So at Deloitte, we've been focusing on the kinetic enterprise and helping clients achieve this. And just to quickly define what that is, we look at the kinetic enterprise as a concept of gone are the days where you'd establish an environment, processes, and a landscape that was static. Rather, you need something that can be dynamic, something that can be ever ready for change, something that can evolve as your business evolves or as you see disruption, right? And we focus it around four main pillars. First pillar is clean. How do you reduce technical debt and simplify your processes? Second pillar is intelligent. How do you leverage capabilities like RPA, machine learning, artificial intelligence? Third being responsive, dynamically scaling up and scaling down, leveraging cloud infrastructure. And then lastly, inclusive, the ability to weave together a vast network of different applications with consistent data, APIs, so you can have a holistic landscape. And we're seeing our clients be able to really achieve this. Over the last few years of working with them, many of them are checking those boxes. And many of them are doing it in different ways. And really, really excited to have Claude here, because HP is one of those clients who's been able to drive this. So Claude, maybe you can quick introduce yourself and just a little bit of HP's journey.
Thank you, Chip. So, look, I am the VP of Supply Chain and Finance IT at HP. I run the entire ERP for the company. So our ERP manages everything from order management to shipment, logistic, revenue recognition, finance, general ledger. So that's pretty much the whole company as far as revenue is concerned. Anytime HP makes $1 of revenue, it goes into this ERP. I was the program lead for the ERP implementation, working with Deloitte, our partners at that time. When we concentrated, implemented, we moved from 13 to 14 ERP that we had before into one running on S4 and everything running on AWS right now. So that took us about 4 years to get there. And basically, I was the program lead for that project.
So Claude, I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I'm going to do it kind of framed up by the different pillars of the kinetic enterprise. So I'll start with the first one being clean, right? And you said it even just in a little bit around your journey. You went from 14 environments down to one. So clearly you've embraced the clean concept. How has your journey in getting to be clean and getting to one environment, how has that now set up a foundation for you to unlock business value?
Right. So typically, before that migration, we had a lot of inefficiency and waste into our processes. Like, for example, a given country would have different master data than the other country, or the same customer that would be a worldwide customer would have different customer number into different countries and different go-to-market, something like that. That would yield a lot of waste within the organization about, when you have to produce, for example, an account view for that customer, eventually you have to construct it manually because nobody has it. You're going to have to pull it from different places, different areas, and that was very cumbersome and again, a lot of waste attached to this thing. The second thing that we did in the journey is, if you look at the total cost of ownership of the entire architecture that we had before, it was extremely expensive. So just reducing that into one instance running the entire company we were able to save about $100 million a year of total cost of ownership. It's just pure IT. It doesn't mention all the value you're getting out of the fact that your business processes eventually are going to start to be the same across all the markets, all the different countries, geographies, everything. That's where you start saving a lot into all the inefficiency that you remove from the business processes as well. That's how we unleashed a lot of value. But this is just during the project. And then there's more value later. We can talk about it. But
let's hear about it.
All right, so the value later is basically, during the pandemic, for example, we ended up having to manage a lot of shortage of components everywhere. And having a global view of all these issues into one place having a way to manage, the inventory everywhere, a way to see, which order was placed by which customer everywhere, was a good way for us also to optimize our supply depending on, where the supply was or where the demand was, optimizing the revenue per customers and things like that, using one ERP to do that. That was not possible before, or would have taken forever to get all this information together to make the right decision down into the operations. So that's one piece of value. The second piece of value is, as we are looking at selling as a service pretty much all our products today, the next value that we see is, with all the capabilities that we have on S4 right now and the future capabilities coming, we can believe that we can literally monetize pretty much all the SKUs that we have by selling them as a service. That is, instead of you buy a printer, tomorrow you don't buy the printer, you just want to print pages, you don't want to buy the cartridges, you don't want to buy the printer, you just don't want to buy the paper, you just want to print the page and you want to pay by the page. That's what we're going to get doing. More than that, for example, if you are working from home and your company places an order of 10,000 laptops with screens and accessories and printers and things like that, what we're going to do, we're going to make sure that we deliver the entire package to you at your home as an employee. Even if the company placed an order for 10,000 units, you're going to deliver at your home, and the company is not going to pay the SKUs in it, it's going to pay the usage of it. So all of these capabilities are possible now because we have one single instance to play with, right? Which can expose all the core, APIs out of it and things like that.
So what I love about that is you gave examples of value you were able to unlock through the course of the project. More than anything, a kinetic enterprise where you've established this foundation,
right,
where you can pivot, make better choices, and truly get value or start up new business models that you haven't been able to do before.
Right.
Really, really good. Let's pivot over to intelligent. So now that you have this foundation established, how are you using, or how are you envisioning potentially using in the future capabilities around artificial intelligence, machine learning, or RPA?
Well, I'm going to give you a very tactical example. Is when you look at the way order management people are releasing the orders to be produced by the factories and eventually shipped to the customers, there's a lot of manual processes that we have identified as we are migrating from multiple processes and ERP into one. Like typically we will realize, like, I don't know, in Mexico, they would check all the orders one by one, check the credit check and things like that. And eventually in Germany, this is a different process. When we look at all these things, we realize that, for example, with machine learning, you could easily learn how people are doing that release process and figure out that in 99% of the case, there's no need to have a human behind a screen to do that type of thing, but just looking at how you do it and learning how you do it, the machine would automatically be able to release the orders directly by a certain number of criteria that are in 99% of the case easy. And then eventually you're going to get somebody to look at the real orders where there is a real issue. There's no supply, the credit is an issue with the customer, the SKU doesn't exist, this customer has been filed for bankruptcy and things like that. So this is where eventually you need some human behind the screen for that, but the rest of the time you can definitely put a lot of machine learnings into looking at your orders and making sure the machine is going to release them automatically. So that's just an example of what we can do for the future.
But it allows you to focus on the area where you truly need to have value,
right,
and be much more efficient throughout.
Instead of just a waste of things where the value is minimum.
Love that. Similar to that, we're going to tweak it slightly. When you think about intelligent and you think about the analytics that SAP can provide and a platform like Business Technology Platform can provide, and you guys from a sustainability standpoint already embracing and focusing on sustainability, talking about plans for reduction of greenhouse gases, talking about plans for circular economy and how you can improve your packaging and reduce waste. Can you talk a little bit around how are you looking to leverage SAP to help support your sustainability journey?
Right. So HP took a lot of commitment to recycle. Our products, for example, are completely recycled. Typically the laptop I have in my bag here is made of complete recycled plastic. So we're already engaged into these type of things. But typically SAP is going to help us because looking forward, there's a lot of information that we need to produce or regulatory compliant type of documentation we need to produce to explain how are we doing from, for example, a CO2 emission standpoint. So typically with SAP, again, tactically, we have now one master data where we put everything, and from a product standpoint, everything is there. If I want to register how much CO2 I'm producing when eventually I'm shipping a product from this place to this place, this is something I can put in my master data. And when I'm going to report everything in terms of how much emission you HP are producing, it's easy for me to produce it, because just pulling the data from this place where all the master data is already there, I'm just going to produce the report that is expected from me. So this is, again, I'm not going to say SAP per se is going to make HP green, right? But with the data we are producing and the way we can master it in one area only, and making sure we fine-tune it depending on, I don't know how this factory is producing things, or this piece of plastic is produced, or whatever, I can make sure that my reporting is accurate.
Yeah, and I'll say, from talking to clients, one of the most challenging things in terms of how they are embracing sustainability is, how do you make sure you can pull all the data in, because it's sitting out in many different sources. So it goes back to the concept of clean. You transitioning down to 14:1 now gets you on one landscape with a consistent set of data to be able to do that.
That was not even possible.
Yeah.
I mean, to get some consistent reporting, that's just literally impossible. I mean, imagine you would have to master data everywhere, making sure you're talking about the same thing, the same way. And to have consistency in the way you control and report it, that was just impossible.
Let's shift over. So responsive. Responsive meaning leveraging cloud infrastructure, being able to scale up, scale down, scale on demand. And I think oftentimes now on projects, at least for myself, we almost take it for granted. It was years ago where if you had a sizing issue or a performance issue, you had to go get servers and work through it. That mindset's very, very different now.
Yeah.
And you and HP have been on a fantastic cloud journey where you've now shifted all your infrastructure over onto AWS cloud. Can you talk a little bit about that cloud journey and how that's been able to provide you benefits?
Right. So what happened is, initially our strategy was to go in a SaaS mode, and we tried that at the beginning of our project to ask SAP to run everything in a SaaS mode. And it didn't turn out to be possible or as flexible as we wanted it to be. So we decided, as we were in the project, to move everything from kind of SaaS on-prem into an AWS solution. That's what we did overnight, not overnight, over a couple of months. And then instantly, we became extremely flexible. An example, we needed to spin off additional testing environment because we had new projects coming up. At the same time we were deploying the ERP project, we were able to copy the production base and move that into another instance here and have another test environment for our project team to work at. That's something was not possible before. I mean, as you said, that would have been, oh my gosh. And these things are like, at the time we were running on 6 terabyte host. Now we are 18 terabyte host. So even duplicating 6 terabyte environment was a big deal. And you would have to lease the machine for 3 years, take things like that. This disappeared literally overnight. Literally overnight, we were able to say, all right, you want another environment? You want it for 3 months? No worries, you have it. We're going to copy the production to this one, and you're going to run this thing for 6 months. And then when you're done, we're going to get rid of it. And then you move to another one. And we did this literally during the project. Another example is, as we started to size what we needed from an infrastructure standpoint during the project, all the benchmark we had at the time from anyone, including Deloitte, by the way, ended up all wrong in terms of what was the size of HP running on HANA. And then we ended up moving from 6 to 12 to 18 terabyte of, I think we started with 4. Anyway, we ended up changing the host like every 2 months or something like that because of the size of this thing growing based on our deployment schedule. And honestly, if I would have been on-prem, that would have been a disaster. Yeah, from a financial standpoint, that would have been a disaster because now I'm running on this thing, this 18 terabyte machine. I know that the 4 terabyte machine would not have been able to handle it. So I would have to get rid of it, broker it. That was just an additional pain that I didn't have to go through. So typically, the cloud provider in this case allowed me to increase my capacity as much as I needed during the project. And if I look now in production, when I need extra capacity, I just get it.
Yeah.
And when I don't need it, I just get rid of it, you know? And typically, we had also to fine-tune our redundancy level, like how many hosts should I have, you know, to fail over in case of problem, a thing like that. Same. It was easy for me to say, well, I'm going to have 3 environments, 18 terabyte each of them, and I'm going to test them in a separate environment. I'm going to migrate them. All this flexibility it's not a question anymore. Yeah. In the past, that would have been a big deal.
It removes a lot of the headaches that you'd have to focus, so you can focus on what truly you need to do to implement.
Right.
I love that. Last question. Let's talk about inclusive. So inclusive meaning you're not on a landscape where it's just SAP.
Right.
So how are you working through making sure you have data consistency and leveraging APIs to integrate your SAP applications, your non-SAP applications, so you can still drive for consistent value in analytics, et cetera?
So I would say it's a journey. That is the way the journey started. You imagine it's an ecosystem extremely complicated with a lot of legacy. Some of them are 25 years old. So it's all over the place. And when you put S4 in the middle, you have to make it work with the rest. And it was not exactly smart. It was more the brute force to do it. It's like, make it work, don't touch it. That was kind of the approach initially in order to land this thing. And then, as now we have it, we are moving into the API mode more and more. And by the way, the next version of S4 2109 supposedly is going to enable a lot of native API out of it. So we're going to want to leverage all of that to make sure that instead of being into a kind of old-fashioned interface mode of exchanging files and things like that, we move things into an API mode where basically you're not sending us any file. You're just going to use this thing. Okay, if you want to place an order, I don't want an EDI file. You're just going to use this API here and connect with me. Yeah. And I'm going to guarantee that when you place your order, everything is correct. The master data, you know, the order is controlled. This is what we want. And if you want to know the inventory position, I'm going to give it to you directly from my ERP, not from some flat file or something like that. I'm going to change with you. So this is exactly where we're going at this point.
Really, really impressive. Claude, thank you so much for your time. It's an impressive journey that you've been on. You have a foundation now that has allowed you to move in many different directions as you need to. And we, as Deloitte, we thank you for being a part of the journey.
Well, that was a interesting journey, I would say. We had ups and downs, and I thank the Deloitte team for the good time and the bad time, you know, that we have together. But yeah, that was a pretty impressive journey. And again, when we look back at what we've done, we still see people in the market that looks at us and you guys were crazy to do it this way. And yeah, we did it. So it's possible. It's possible. It was not a walk in the park, I would say, but it was definitely possible.
Blood, sweat, and tears, but leads to success. So
thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone, for your time.
Thank you.